Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Going on? What's going on to all my embracers? It's Monday night. You know what it is. And we're here with my co-host Gary. I got a couple other people coming, and they're gonna come and trickle in. But how you doing, Gary?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm kind of excited because now I know that we're not going to have any problems tonight. And like you said, this is an awesome topic that needs to be talked about because
Absolutely.
I've had a whole week to marinate in all the information that I've learned myself. So we're all learning, okay? So just let me introduce myself. My name is Grace with Embrace the Grace. And for all you first timers, I do appreciate you coming. Don't forget to like as you come in the door and definitely subscribe. And I just want to let people know that this is a place where we embrace the truth, your truth. And welcome to my channel because this is a safe place where we encourage growth, healing, and where it's okay, guys, to have those hard conversations and awkward conversations. We strive to have thought-provoking dialogues, but always with respect. So sit back, relax, snack, and chill out and come and engage with us because it's going to be a good one. And you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, wherever it is, I'm there. The only thing I don't really mess with is Twitter. I'm not feeling Twitter yet. I guess it's gonna have to warm up to me like TikTok did. But anyway, I already see one person here. I do want to say a hi, Sunny. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. Don't forget to press the like button. And Gary, so go ahead. Well, anyway, guys, this is Gary. He is my, I guess, permanent co-host every Monday night. He's been here since the first of the year. He ain't going nowhere. And I love it because the consistent support, you can support people, but it's consistent support that matters. You could have 1,000 subscribers, but if they don't throw anything, so supporting, sitting there absorbing all this great knowledge and not really in back. So let's everybody who you are and where you can and where I can find you, co-host door, and we'll introduce him once Gary. Gary, let us know where we can find you.
Hey, everyone. Again, thank you, Grace, for having me on the show. I definitely enjoy being here. We have some great discussions, and it's things that we need to talk about. And this particular social media topic definitely is a topic I felt very strongly about. We definitely need to address because we're all in this social media new world, and it's intertwined in our daily life now. I'm Gary D. I co-host a podcast on Friday nights called The Real Discussion with Rock Logic and Robin. We're part of Boardwalk Global Media, which I'm the president of. We come on Friday nights from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. What else? We have a couple of other podcasts that we do on a weekly basis. And you could catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, The Real Discussion with Rock Logic, or you could just look me up, Gary D. And that's it.
All righty. Thank you so much for that, Gary. And then I have my awesome young man, True Table. He brings a fresh perspective to us old heads, you know, to the topic. And that's why I love having him here, because he's such an old soul and he brings a lot of wisdom to the younger generation who are kind of out there. So that's why I love having him. So True, go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know where we can find you.
Oh, how you guys doing? We're kind of out there, Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of y'all lost in the sauce.
Yeah, I'm True Table. I'm a YouTuber. You can find me on YouTube, same first name, same last name, across all platforms, Twitter, Instagram. And I'm just here to have a conversation, add perspective to relationships, social dynamics, and promoting men's wellness and growth.
You guys really have to come out, especially the young men and in my audience, because you know, I know sometimes that it's hard to listen and learn things about men from a woman. So he can give you the male perspective. So it's all good. So I do have some people walking in. So I do have Wally here. Thank you so much for showing up. I really do appreciate it. Hold on, trying to do the comments. He said salute. And then Don GQ said he was never here. So he was never here. You know, so thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to press the like and subscribe and share button if you haven't already. So guys, you guys know that last week I had a hell of a time trying to get this live going well. And a good dear friend of mine told me, no, we got to run it back. You know, because I was going to take a week off and then come back to it. He was like, nah, we got to run it back. It's an awesome topic. I mean, I still got 41 views on the live, even as messed up as it was. So people were muddling through it. So I want to give you guys quality work. You know, I'm not going out like that. You know, Embrace doesn't do sloppy, messy stuff. So I had to come back. You know, I just want to thank I'm not going to shout out names because they may not want to be known, but I do want to give a shout out to the person that helped me with my background, with my well, not the intro, the countdown. You know who you are. I really appreciate it. Now, the only thing I need now is a nice intro, and I think I'll be good for a minute. Oh, and of course, you know, I need a better computer. So, you know, if you guys feel like it and touch your heart, supports this channel, money sign Embrace the Grace 23. So let's get right down to Wally was saluting Don was saluting Wally, and Don was hello, Embrace the Grace. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. I know that a lot of people here are busy and doing their own thing, running their own channel, so I really do appreciate it. And there she go. There go my sister Grace. Doing, baby, coming in. I really do appreciate it. So you missed it last week, Grace. So you see, it was meant for you to be here. So what are we talking about today, gentlemen? We're talking about, does social media ruin relationships? Relationships are already hard as it is. It's already, with all the contributing factors that we have to deal with in dealing with a relationship and having a healthy relationship. So now we have another layer of shit on the shit pile. And that's what it is, because it just makes, yes, it does make relationships harder. How? That's what we're going to talk about. A lot of people have different perspectives. A lot of people feel how to handle this in different ways. But I got my information from the magazines and the books and the psychology. We're going to all talk about person. What can we do better? Because social media is not going anywhere, guys. It's not. It's here to stay. It's a way of life. I mean, I don't think any of the millennials or zillennials have ever seen a payphone, a standing payphone. They wouldn't even know how to use a rotary phone. So, and getting it at the touch of getting information at a touch of a finger is a way of life now. It's not like how me and Gary had to go to the library and work on a research paper for 6 to 8 weeks and go through the Dewey Decimal System and
Oh my
look up
God.
the book on the car catalog. You remember that, Gary? Yeah,
You're making
exactly.
me feel
That was
old. You're making me feel
fun
really
part,
old.
That's okay, Gary. That's because we are, but we still look good. So, what is social media to me? To me, it has really been a form of connecting with old friends, new friends, and now that I'm a content creator, really, I have amped up my media usage. I even keep track of it on my weekly report. Look at how much time I spend on social media, and my goal is to cut it down. It is work related. It's because there used to come a time where my friends would complain that I was on social media too much. My ex-husband would complain that I'd be on social media too much. He didn't have a social media platform. So we're all, and we all are involved with it, but what can we do better? What can we take from this tonight? So to me right now, social media is a platform where I'm using very, very heavily to push my YouTube channel because I feel that I have things to say, things to teach, wisdom to spread, and I want to be part of the solution and not part of the problem, because there's a lot of YouTube contents out there that are not really trying to fix things. They're just trying to really ignite things versus trying to make things better. So with that being said, Gary, what is social media to you?
Social media is a platform. Well, in this new world of social media, there's its good and there's its plus and minuses. And to me, it gives an opportunity for, to connect with old friends, to do business, and also too, in the wake of social media, it has become very informative, right? We've come across people that have the same ideas, same views. Sometimes some of these people, they spend hours and hours doing research, and it kind of saves you time, right? So I think that with me, it definitely serves a purpose of not only for being very informative, but also again, you can use it for your business, and then also, I mean, as they call it, social media, you're able to connect with people all over, right? When we were growing up, we had our neighborhood, right? People in our neighborhood. Now we could really become close friends with someone in another state or in another country. And this is real. And over the years with social media, as things has progressed and developed, now we have live real-time video chatting where you could do with anybody around the world. So to me, there's a lot that social media means to me and what we can do with it, but also kind of, as you said, there's people out there that is using it for I don't want to say bad purposes, but they're promoting negative agendas and stuff like that, and that's not really helping, right? It's not really helping. It's hurting, but but with something like this, there's going to be good and bad, right?
I'm unmuted. Like everything in life, there's always a good side and there's always a bad side in everything. It's all in how you interpret it and how you deal with it. So true. Tell me your truth when it comes to social media. You like that, huh?
Like I said on the last broadcast, I think social media is just a tool. It is just what we're experiencing, and for you old heads as well as us old heads, whatever, we've seen a transition between what was a social norm back at a time where there was like communities and neighbors and communication happened in person. And then as we have progressed, our society has become more reliant on systems and tools in order to do something as simple as converse with people, where before it wasn't like that. So I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with social media. I think what is happening is that it's going to take years probably, but when we're going to find a balance, because we're not too far out. I think the internet and everything the way it is now, we're 20 years, maybe 25 years or so of its existence. So it's still considered a child in the wake of humanity. And it's always changing. I mean, I can remember cell phones not having text messages. You literally have to and then the chirp. And then when, what was it? BlackBerry, what was it? BlackBerry? I think it's, BlackBerry Messenger came out and that was a thing. And so all you're seeing is that as corporations, are learning human behavior, they're introducing new technology, they're introducing a way of trying to be more efficient to get information to travel faster. And then I think people are just utilizing it in a manner that maybe it wasn't designed for, particularly, at least to keep us separate. It was really created to bring us closer together. And you're just seeing how that is becoming less and less, because the more distance you can put between you and a real person and a real interaction through things like social media, then you can hide behind, I don't know, your inadequacies or nervousness or anxiety is the new thing nowadays. So yeah, I don't see it to be a bad thing. I think social media can be awesome. It's just on how you utilize it.
She's on
Sorry,
mute.
I was on mute. I'm gonna show. I have 3 shorts that I want to show throughout the show. So I'm gonna go just to give you a visualization of what other people have to say when it comes to social media. So let's go ahead and start this now. It's hilarious. Yeah, this one we gotta watch. Just a minute. Put play.
Your bitch using the niggas at work, you, and that's it. And come on. That's all she had to look at. Now 30,000 niggas to look at. You heard me? For when you don't act right. And she tired about all the other bitches. The bitches getting shit on Instagram that she ain't getting. So all that time you didn't put in, but it fucked up. It fucked up you too. All that was your side bitches. Your bitches at work. Your bitch and come back. That's all we had. That's all. We a couple side bitches from the other side of town. Now you hypnotized.
Yeah.
You look at your bitch and you see 1,000 bitches look better.
I think best too.
And you looking way better than your bitch. You look over at your bitch, you like, it fucked up. It made, at first, your bitch used to just see niggas at work.
Okay, so it was a little, nothing major. I just wanted to give you the perspective, very colorful language, but it gave the point. Whereas not only now are you looking at people that are just locally, but now you can see people that are on the other side of the world. You can compare people to who you got at home. There's people sitting at home wishing that they had the life that they see on social media, and that gives such a false pretense of things. So I have a newcomer. I have never seen them here before. I do like this Royal Hustler Promotions Company. Good evening. Thank you for coming.
Renee, that's
I
my
really
friend Renee.
appreciate
That's
it.
my good friend Renee.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. You
That's my
know,
good friend Renee.
sit back, enjoy the ride, and if you want to come in on the conversation, go ahead and click on the link, and you are welcome to. So just do whatever feels suitable to you. Just all I ask you is to embrace it. So,
Uh,
as everybody knows, not I don't just come up here and talk my shit. I give informative information. I give statistics. I do my research. I come up here and I talk about things, so it sounds legit. So, an article written by Kenny Roots, is social media ruining relationships? Social media, I know you said 25 years, true, but I guess it's between 13 and 25 years. And y'all remember, it all started with MySpace. Y'all remember MySpace?
yeah, but I
You
mean, it
remember that,
was
Gary, MySpace?
yeah, but so there was actually, well, MySpace was the popular one, but then there was also Black Planet, right?
Black
Now,
Planet, Black People Meet, Black People Meet.
well, that came later.
Yep.
That came later. Initially, but around the same time was MySpace and Black Planet. And
Okay.
yeah, and wait, Yahoo had their social media arm called Yahoo 360. Now,
Okay.
yeah,
I
so
don't know. I heard about
That was
Yahoo.
just, yeah, that was a loose. I was just throwing out a loose time frame, scanning the math because we're in 2023. I don't know what is considered social media. I know that AOL was a faceless social media because we used to have a party line on the phone. Party line went online. That's what AOL was. So I would consider that to be the first actual social media, and then it transitioned. I was at least 20 years. At least I give it at least 20.
well, no, I think your time frame is about right. Because I mean, it's
Yeah.
yeah, I think your time frame is about right. All right,
I mean,
Grace.
the
No,
internet
go.
was out, but I guess the platforms for socializing and dating and all of that, came a little bit later.
But this is what I'm saying, because
But the thing is, gentlemen, that social.
but what I was saying
Right.
with Black Planet specifically and MySpace, there was, actually with Black Planet, there was a lot of I guess for those women that were into black men, they would go to Black Planet, and there were relationships that came from that. MySpace was, from what I've seen and being on it, that was more connecting with people. I don't think that it was a lot of dating going on. I think that later on, when you came into Facebook, right, then that's when sort of, wow, like I could really date somebody and all that stuff.
You gotta remember that all of it built upon each other, and I think I actually love watching the transition of new technologies. History, anything, the car, the computer, the ATM card. I mean, I remember my parents used to have cash, and then maybe a credit card. A debit card wasn't a thing, so you always had a certain amount of cash. My dad even taught me how to keep my cash. Keep the big bills in the center and then the little ones on the outside, and all that stuff. But social media, I would say, if you want to talk about it being from a dating perspective, that probably didn't happen until the mid 2000s into the 09, 2010 ish, because even Facebook with its introduction, it was more just for college students, and then it became corporate. Then they were gathering data, and then you have, what is that one called? The popular dating one? Mix. Gosh, the eHarmony.com.
Yeah.
That's when that was, I would consider to be probably the first social media centered around dating. Like that was what it was built for, to meet online, because before people would have never done it. They talk about human psychology, how it takes sometimes decades to convert people's behavior. And that just comes from the fact of how we are, how we move. I hear music in the background. Is that me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You guys
No,
hear me?
I'm background music going, guys.
That's you? Okay, I'm like, where's that coming
Yeah, I'm playing it.
from? Okay.
Is it too loud?
No.
I'm
I
telling you,
just,
I'm trying to come up with this game.
That's fine. I have other windows.
know?
I'm like, is something playing? I didn't want to disturb the stream. But yeah, it's just,
No.
I still don't think it's a bad thing. I think what it is all you're doing is you're watching the maturation of it. You're watching people convert and try to figure out how this thing works. Like, I didn't know until recently that even asking for a phone number was a violation of social practice. Like, if you meet a young lady, if she's under 25, asking her for a phone number is kind of like what? Like, that's too private. You have to ask for the Instagram. That's a little bit more socially acceptable, which that's weird to me. I'm like, all right. So it changes, it's always something different. Crazy.
I have a question for you guys. Do you get offended? Let's say I never gave you my number, but I call you through Instagram or Facebook. Do you think that's a violation?
I mean, it's like, I've seen that happen, right? But I've never experienced that per se. But I mean, to me, if you were to like, I think what it is nowadays is that people want to connect on social media. Like, here's my IG, here's my Facebook, and they don't want to, I don't know, exchange numbers, which I find that weird, right? So, and if I'm talking to you, if we're talking, and I want to get to know you, so I want to be able to call you. I want you to be able to call me, and we talk on the phone. Because I mean, I think, like I was saying last week, when it comes to messaging, like on, let's say on Facebook, it's really so impersonal, right? Or whatever other social media that you're on, where you're messaging, it's so impersonal, right? Where if I'm able to talk to you on the phone, I could hear your voice, right? I could be able to actually connect with you, because I think we all, at some point in time, has spoken to somebody on the phone where we exchange numbers and we hear we talk to them on the phone, and it's like, it doesn't click, right? It doesn't click. There's just some people's voices you're just not going to click quick, and that's just how it goes. But then there's other people's voices that you're like, well, oh, okay, yeah, I'm vibing with this person. Like, this could work, right? So to circle back to your question, is that I wouldn't think it's a violation. I just think that it's it would be a bit challenging, right? I think that's the better word, because I need to talk. I need to talk to you on the phone. Like, that's how we're gonna connect. At least that's how I feel. Like, if we're going to really connect or start to vibe, start to bond, I need to talk to you.
And I don't blame you. But if I haven't given you my number, do not call on Facebook and Instagram, because I'm not answering the phone. I didn't give you that access. And I guess that's why people do that. It's like layers of, you're on mute, True, you're on mute. It's different levels of access now. It's like, first is let me get your Instagram, and then you on Instagram, let me get your number, let me FaceTime you. So it's like you go through so many different levels. And you remember, Gary, in old school, we used to just write our number down on a piece of paper.
Right.
And you go and you call from the house. Or you beat. Remember them? You had to pull
Oh my
over and
God.
call somebody at the payphone.
Yeah.
I know.
But see,
I'm gonna.
but great.
So
But
go ahead.
let me just say this here. And when you're talking about levels, so if you meet somebody, so let's say you meet somebody on social media, you connect as friends or what have you. Now you're messaging. Now I understand that. Now from that, depending on how comfortable, I guess, each of you have been, you could exchange numbers, right? Because to me, it goes from the messaging to asking for the number or getting the person's number. So now you move from messaging, now you move to the phone, because now you could talk to the person on the phone, or you could text. Right? Now, if you met the person in person, you should. Well, now it's okay. I'm gonna give you my Instagram. I'm gonna give you my Facebook. But in that, one of the first things is supposed to be, exchanging numbers.
To answer your question, Grace, I'm not offended, but I will tell you that it's very impersonal. You're putting a unnecessary barrier between me and getting to really know you. The one thing in the business world was like email. It was a business. So if you didn't want somebody to have your maybe direct line, you give them your email address. That way, if they were going to contact you, it obviously took them effort to get in contact with you, because everybody's not checking their emails like that. So if I'm interacting with a young lady in person and she's like, oh, here's my Instagram, I don't even waste my time. I'm just like, no, it's okay. It was nice meeting you. Because one, you're not that important, in my opinion, for me to go through extra layers of trying to get to know you. Right. I'm not going to do that. Two, it just screams to me that it's just a connection for you may not be as heavy for me as it is for you. Because if I was a celebrity and I was like, let me get your number, you would give me your number, like no hesitation. So don't treat me, even though I'm not, I'm still an important person, at least to myself. So I just don't waste my time. But I'm not offended. I just am like, all right, cool. Because I'm not going to go look for you online. I'm not going to DM you. That's lame to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
See, I definitely have to agree with True. On that. If she gives me her Instagram or her Facebook and now her number, yeah, that's it. I'm not this is not gonna work.
I get it, and already, I'm talking about examples. Somebody on my Facebook today on the preview that I did, they were like, I want to meet you. I want a friend request. Okay, I don't even know you. I let him have the friend request because I like the audacity that you putting it out in front of everybody, that you trying to get at me. But the fact is, I'm not giving you my number right away because I have, I have to check the vibe out, because giving you my number is allowing you direct, readily access to me. And I might not want that from somebody that I just met. Now, if this is somebody that I meet at a bar or I meet at a Walmart, that's different because I've already met them face to face. I was more implying on if you met somebody on a dating app and y'all exchange social media, but then they call you on your social media when I ain't give you my number yet. You're not there yet. I get it, True. I get it. If I met you in person, yes, I'm gonna give you my phone number. And most guys now, they'll call right away just to see if the number is legit, because they didn't caught on to the game that we give false numbers. So I'm gonna call you right now and I'm gonna text you so you can lock me in. I'm like, God, I gotta give him, I gotta give him. So you give him a Google number.
I'm glad you said that, Grace, because you make a very valid point. You guys screwed it up. When I say you guys, I'm talking about women. Females, I think that's probably the biggest frustrating thing about this whole universe of socializing through apps and stuff is because girls change the rules all the time. It's like, I'm not saying guys are perfect by no means, but guys are really simple. I met a dude last night when I was out dancing bachata. He's from Texas, and he was just chopping it up. He's like, man, you seem cool. Here, man, here's the number.
Your happy place, huh?
That's my happy place, definitely.
That's your happy place.
That's my happy place. But it was simple. Now I get it. It is a different interaction between a man and a man because there's no sexual pursuit, sexual energy. I'm looking at it from a friendship, maybe a network, an opportunity, cool. But I also don't like the audacity that most females have because you can't treat every single guy the same. Like some level of discernment has to set in to where you can kind of tell if he's thirsty or this may just be a gentleman. And I think that for girls, they don't like any type of cognitive exercise. I just want to lump every guy in the same thing, same area, same box, and then show me you're different. Instead of actually spending the time to get to know his individual temperament, asking the right questions, reading the energy. No, that's too much work.
But yeah, true. I think that you know that because they have a bad experience, they want to put every guy into that box. And we don't do that, right? We don't do that. But when women,
guys do that sometimes. The jaded men, y'all jaded men do that sometimes. It's not only us now. It's very few.
Most men, no.
But some of y'all men,
most men do not put all women in the same category because most don't. The majority of us don't. Now, I'm saying that there's some do, but the majority of us don't. The majority of us don't. But most women, because they have a bad experience with a guy, they want to put all the guys in that category. And especially if a guy is actually genuine. Especially if a guy's being very
out there. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened to me today. Because I put this preview out on my platform, I got a DM today. Very simple. Oh, I want to F you. Respond. I'm not responding to that. I don't respond to anybody that comes at me as a pet. Okay? So because I didn't know what it was. And I called it. I told my nephew, because I don't respond, watch what he's gonna do. He sent the dick pic. I'm like, really? Really, guy? I mean, is this what it's getting to now? I mean, that was just so disrespectful until for a man to think that that's okay is crazy. And that's the perception that social media has jaded. Don't laugh, Grace, because that shit was, and then don't have your audacity to send me a dick pic if it's not even, pleasing to the eye, okay? Come on, man. That's crazy. Let me read these comments real quick. Grace said, people don't know how to respect people in person, let alone over social media. Exactly, Grace. It's only made hard relationships even harder. And then she came back, shoot, peeps go straight to pay my bills and don't even care for an actual connection. It's a resource to use people because of people who use people using it. Yup, I didn't heard that. Here comes PA laughing too. It's not cute, guys. Y'all don't know what I be going through with these DMs now that I'm getting more visible on these social forums. It's crazy. It really is. But you know what? It gives me context. So keep them coming. So Grace, you should just come here, baby. But I understand where Grace said females afford for attention. Hold on. Hold on. My fingers got too hot. Females will flirt for attention and then trip on the attention. Exactly. I got a video that I'm going to show on one show that the girl was practically walked out of the hotel butt ass naked. She might as well not wore any clothes. And then when she sat down in the car, she showed a whole hoo-ha. She didn't even have drawers on. But, you know, that's a whole nother show. And then ain't no bad experience problem is jacked females. Ain't no bad experience problem. I don't know, babe. You're going to have to read that over again. Write that over again. And then she's laughing at me because of what I just said. And then here comes PA laughing. You know about that, PA, okay? And he said females do the same thing. They just don't get it. You mean send pictures of their hoo-ha?
Yeah, they do. They do. Yep. Yes, they do. I'll tell you that. Because
really?
Here's the thing. So here's let me just, if I could chime in here. So for the men that do that clearly that's disrespectful. However, I think what happens is because of whatever women are, because there's some women that let that happen, right? And when I say let that happen, they feel that, oh, you know, it's okay. So some of these guys, they feel like, oh well, you know, they instead of having or trying to have an initial conversation, they feel that the first thing they want to send you is their dick pic, like it's gonna, I don't know, make you fall in love with it, right? Instead of sending you a message like, you know, a pleasant message saying, hey, you know, nice to meet you, and so forth and so on. They don't want to do that. Some
no, you'd like to go out to dinner.
Yeah, they don't even. Right, a lot don't want to do that. I would love to get. Right, a lot. You know, a lot don't do that. But now for the females, I will tell you, there's females that would. Here's the gall, right? Here's the gall with some females. The females who send their pussy pic straight off the back like that, when you don't respond the way that they want you to, they automatically think, oh, you one of those gay guys or on the down low.
Of course. They would never imagine that that's not disrespectful. And then PA Texas said, embrace the grace counseling shots. Yes, sir. Now, would I be wrong if I blast that shit on social media? Look what I got today, ladies and gentlemen. Look what Grace gets to embrace today. Come on, man. Then Don GQ said, I like hoo-ha. I said, I bet you do. That's good to know. PA, I didn't necessarily mean they about pictures, but oh no, I don't know about dick pics. Okay. And then Grace said, I literally only hang out on YouTube. I don't do social media. I got tired of dick pics. Exactly. That shit gets so old. You know, it's like, really? Is this all you're bringing to the table? At my age, I need more than that. She's so lucky, sent her hoo-ha pic out. Nah, I would never, ever do that because I didn't see what my homeboys do. They go around and show it and they talk about it. And I don't trust it. Now, maybe if that's my husband or somebody that I've been with for years, maybe. But somebody that I'm just talking to, nah. You're going to see that, you're going to see it in person. And that's it. So, I have a couple of hoo-has in my collection. I bet you do, PA. I bet you do.
But then see, here's the thing. If we're gonna
gotten to the... No, go ahead, Gary. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. So if you're talking to someone on social media and y'all, you know, y'all move from social media, you're talking on the phone, and if things are getting hot and steamy, one would think if you want to exchange pictures like that, or you want to show each other or show the other person, you know, a naughty picture or what have you, you would think that you'd be mature enough, or they would be mature enough to be like, okay, this is for my eyes only. the problem is some people aren't like that, right? Now, and this is where I would say some, you got a lot of guys who get into their feelings because I guess if things fall apart with the girl, now they want to go show everyone, right? Or they want to go put it up on a porn site or a Tumblr or something like that, right? I know of a couple of situations like that, but then at the same time, it's like, you got to be careful who you dealing with, right? Just because this guy may, I don't know, look good, sound good, telling you the shit that you want to hear, right? Doesn't mean that you got to do that shit. So I think there's a lot more, as how we say in the BDSM world, there's a lot more vetting that you got to do before you do shit like that.
It's all the females' fault online. I don't feel sorry for what's going on because they created the social climate. It is ridiculous. We guys, we're simple. All these rules and y'all fault. It's y'all fault. So.
And men are just doing that because it's like broadcasting. If I can't count how many times I've heard a guy. So well, if you ask at least 100 females, one might say yes. they just, I'm just saying.
I don't know dudes that get boxed on a regular that waste their time sending dick pics. Honestly, there's the ones that get on a regular. Yeah, no, I mean, well, it's weird.
There are some.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just I kick it with a certain kind of crew.
Right.
We have no problem with women. So it's
see, as a woman, they hunt out females. Oh, that's a girl. Hi, look. Like literally, they're like, yeah, it's like
I got that.
They may even start out like a nice conversation just to get your attention, and you're like trying to be kind. I know Grace is kind. I'm kind. Hi, how you doing? Oh, well, okay, that's how you're doing. Blocked. I mean, I think I had more people on my blocked list than I had on my friends list, and I was like, man, I don't need social media like that. And then it ruins relationships because, well, now I can get everybody's opinion on how much of a piece of crap he is, what he done did to me. I ain't got to tell what I done did, but let me tell everybody what he done did. See, I done told you like 1,012 people liked my comment because they said you're trash. I shouldn't even be with you. Oh, relationship over. And not once, is there can we talk about this one-on-one, just the two of us?
But that's volunteering information. Like social media is not advanced enough to derive information out of you. You have to put that stuff out there. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what it's being used for.
But if you put it out there, you got to be willing to suffer whatever comes with that.
Oh yeah. Did you not see that one? I mean, I've seen it at least on a couple different podcasts today. That woman who was complaining about her husband going to like I didn't get the whole details of it because I think I got ADD. I got bored. Anyway, talking about her husband going to like a strip club or something with, like not in a I'm going to a strip club type situation, but it was a corporate business meeting. Okay, so he's with his boss. She puts this all out on social media, and now social media is coming at him, trying to get him fired from their job, and she's on there talking about, we're a one-income family. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Please stop coming for him. I know y'all care. Why'd you put your business out there then?
Well, see, that, if I could chime in here, see, what I was saying last week is that when it comes to relationships, when you're in a relationship with someone, you're supposed to be, whatever issues, problems, or what have you, you're supposed to take care of that off social media. You don't put your business on social media, right? Unfortunately, there are people that wind up doing that. So there's consequences to stuff like that, right? And I think that, we're at a time now where, I guess, y'all women can be very emotional. And I guess in the emotional state, you want to go post up to, I don't know, get people to say something or comment. But it's like, but also too, I think with the man, he needs to, I guess, I would say in the beginning of the relationship was like, look, if there's a problem, if there's an issue, we need to talk about this shit and don't put it up on social media. Like, I'm not dating a woman that's going to do that kind of shit, right? That's not, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm like, yo, if we're going to get into something and you want to put our business or some issue on social media, consider it, we're over, right? If you got a problem or something's upsetting you, bothering you, don't come to me. Don't come and put this shit on social media, because our relationship is supposed to supersede social media. But a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people.
And unfortunately, women have a tendency, we like being worshipped. Women love being worshipped. Okay. If a man says, "Oh girl, you look good, you're beautiful," we're like, "Oh, thank you." Okay. If another woman says, "Girl, look at you, look at your, oh girl, thank you." That feeling, we like that. We like that a lot. And so we get it in mass abundance on social media. Like, let me put my pictures out there. Let me show you how good I look today, and even whenever it comes to victimization and all that attention, that's all worship. That's all worship. And men are better at humility. Yep. Women suck at humility. And that's because
I agree.
Who humbles them? Who humbles a woman? How often is a man going to go, "Well, you ain't finna get none, you acting a fool"? I mean, how cool would that be, though? How cool would that be?
And that's what I'll be trying to teach these dudes, but they, it's so hard because we need
the women who have some sense. We need men to help.
but see, this is where it gets a little bit unraveled, Grace. Because I'm that dude. Like I'm discovering this as new information because, again, I've lived for a certain way for so long. So some of the stories I'll tell guys, they're like, "You didn't do that. You didn't put that girl out. Like, you didn't tell." And I'm like, "Nah, this is normal." Like, well, I don't understand, but I'm starting to realize that's not what they would do. I've been that dude that girls have come over and I'm not feeling your vibe no more. And I'm like, "I need you to go."
Exactly.
And they're like, "You told a girl to leave?" I was like, "Absolutely." Like, it's not a thing.
But there's also standing in your worth. A lot of men, men have to feel like they have a purpose. And a lot of times a man derives his purpose from his family, from his woman, even if he doesn't have kids. Like, now I have somebody to take care of. And men need to stand in their worth, because you can't humble somebody if you don't know your own worth. And so if he's always begging, like, literally, it almost seems like marriages these days is a man begging for years. Just look at it.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, he ain't got to do that no more. He could just send a picture to some random chick.
Well, but see, I mean, now, I mean, where
hold on, because I'm really, wait, hold on. I'm really behind
Go ahead,
on
Grace.
the comments, Gary. Hold on. I'm
all right, Grace.
Drowning. PA said, "Well, Grace, they send you a picture because they want a special embrace." Well, no, not like that. You ain't gonna get embraced like that with some disrespectful shit. And then my baby girl Mookie said, "I agree." And then Don GQ said, "Some people prefer to keep their personal life private and therefore choose not to share their relationships on social media." We're going to talk about that, Don, when we get further down the conversation. I kind of agree and disagree with you. And then Mookie's laughing her head off. My stories for today. Come on. Because there's a lot of guys. Oh, here we go. I'm still trying to. They said they may not want to expose a significant other to the public, or may simply maintain a certain. We're going to talk about that in a minute, Don. I promise you, because I kind of go both. So came and said, come on, coming. I don't know why. Okay, they may not know. I read them. Others may be single and content. Hold on, you see, when I click it, it doesn't come. Others may be single and content with their independence, choosing not to seek out a relationship. Okay, no problem. I can agree with. And then Don said they may not feel the need to share their relationship status on social media as it is not for them. Okay. Okay. Some people may fear being judged by their relationship status, family, or even strangers on social media. You keep knocking on that door. And then he said again, he came back again and said, PA Texas came back and said, I told you I was drowning in these. Yeah, if you get women on the regular, they usually have, it keeps disappearing on me. Get women regular, they usually have usages for your penis than taking photos. I'm done. I'm done. Don, you got a lot to say tonight on this topic. I'm happy about it. Social media can sometimes bring unnecessary drama and attention, and some people may prefer to avoid this by not sharing relationship status. But by not sharing the relationship status can already bring tension to the relationship, because you out here moving in these streets like what relationship, and you're getting, imagine me and you and me, I'm single on my status, that's leaving the different man to come at me and send me dick pics. You know, hopefully that's a deterrent. I change my status to take it. You know, my status has been the same for years, so it is what it is. Don said they may not want to deal with questions or comments from others about their relationship, so they choose to keep it private. But I get it, but I just still think all comes down to preference. Some people simply do not feel the need to share their relationship status on social media, whether they are in a relationship or not. It may not be to them, or they may have other reasons for choosing to keep it private. And then he comes back and says, I was never here. Okay. And then
I know that
he says
you have to ask yourself. Go ahead.
No, finish, baby. Finish that thought.
Well, I think it gets to the point to where you kind of have to ask yourself, why am I on here? It's one thing if it's for business purposes, for work. But I mean, if you're really, you know, it really takes like self-control, which a lot of people don't have. You know what I mean? They get too consumed with their self to control it. Self-control, which a lot of people don't. You know.
I hear you. And then social media is toxic, but it's up to you to let the world know what's going on in your personal life. And if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. And then Mookie came back and said, it's just not us women. Men do it as well. And then Don Q told Mookie, join the panel and voice your opinion. So,
well,
and then
she
dropped the link. So Mookie, if you want to come up here and talk, come on. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, nowadays you got a lot of men acting like women, right? So, you know, and that's definitely a problem. But you know, when it comes to your relationship on social media, you know, if you and your partner decide to put up that you're in a relationship and y'all both agree to that, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's interesting because it said that, You know, when you're single, you don't really get anything, but when you switch to your status being in a relationship, now people want to come and send you stuff because now it's more of a challenge. But you know, the more important thing is that nowadays there needs to be the communication, as you've heard me say in every show, that a couple is supposed to have.
It is. I was wondering when it was going to come.
Right, the real honest communication about, you know, and actually social media should be a topic. Or how are we going to navigate social media? Because are you going to get into a relationship where you have a partner whose face is always going to be on Facebook or whatever social media? I think that kind of stuff is important. And if you get into a relationship with them, do you have to worry about them looking at other people, right? You know, because some people, they get upset over that. So I think that it's very important that you have the real conversation with your partner and see what the parameters are. What are the guidelines? What's acceptable? What's not acceptable? But the majority of people, they don't have that conversation, right? So they just let things go. And then when you're mad or your partner gets you upset, where do you go? You go on social media, and whatever guy or girl that was in your inbox that felt you looked good or sent you something, now you want to talk to them because you're mad at your boyfriend or you're mad at your girlfriend or you're mad at your husband. Right? That's not how it's supposed to work.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. So now I haven't even got information, so let's get on it. Social media has given humans in society another way of connecting without too much effort. It really doesn't take a lot of effort to have 10 different people in your inbox at the end of the day. All you got to do is swipe right, and they're going to go ahead and respond to you right away. Go ahead, True. Go ahead. I can't hear you.
I was just saying, like, that's not true for the male population. The female population, absolutely. But that's not it's definitely not the same. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm speaking from experience, so I guess my shit flooded.
Well, you have a special tool that we don't have. So, you know, you're always going to be in demand. That's just the nature of being a woman.
Well, and see, if I could chime in quick, like True is absolutely right. So women, I don't care how you look, you're going to get a bunch of stuff in your inbox, right? I mean, we've all been on Facebook and seen guys comment on women that look, you know, they don't look all of that, but they're calling her beautiful and queen and all this shit. And you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? And, you know, and if you're a woman that looks attractive, you're gonna look at this and be like, wait a minute, is this what this guy finds attractive? Like, so that's gonna be an immediate turnoff, right? So, but with that being said, it doesn't matter how a woman's look, she's always gonna get some dude or a couple of dudes that's gonna send her stuff in her inbox. Us guys, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that.
I mean, I hear you. I hear you, gentlemen. I can't relate. So, but anyway, let's keep moving forward. Social media has revolutionized how people communicate, date, love, and connect. But you guys, all social media is not bad. It's great for promoting your business, talent, and connecting with friends. It's just people have made it look bad. Did you guys know that 50% of people have reported that social media has had a significant negative impact on their relationship. So that means half of relationships are going through some fuckery in their relationship because of social media, from fubbing.
That's because they let it.
Micro cheating. It's opened up a whole new way to bring conflict and ruin relationships. And this is coming from choosingtherapy.com. And this is how it's damaged relationships. Just like it has many positive effects, it does, gentlemen, have the potential to wreak havoc on a relationship. How? It decreases with your partner. You're too busy scrolling. You're too busy seeking attention. You're missing the connections with your significant other. If your significant other wants to watch a movie, but you're busy scrolling on the couch, they're gonna feel like they're being ignored. And then of course the jealousy, conflicts with disagreement, and then you got people running around with hurt feelings and negative connotation. And you guys, I can't even lie to you, and I did admit it to y'all last week, but I've been through this. I myself am learning to navigate relationships through social media because I've never had to deal with it. My ex-husband didn't have social media, and then his job requires that they don't have social media. So I was always the one always on social media. So now that I'm out here in the dating, men are on social media sometimes as much as we are. Now I'm trying to learn how to navigate if the person I'm talking to is liking pictures or is commenting on something, or one guy told me he didn't want to be friends with me on Facebook because he didn't want it to cause conflict. And I took that personally. I said, be hiding something. You must not want people to forget. That's how I took it. But later, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, and I had to find through the back door instead of you just telling me. So that right there is letting me know you're hiding something. Because if men know that I'm in a relationship, I'm gonna keep getting these ratty ass DMs and these dick pics, I feel. But you know that everybody's different. But honestly, I'm learning not to get so personally. I'm learning not to get in my feelings. I'm learning not to be insecure about shit, because if I was to turn around and show that guy half the shit that's going on with me in my social media, shut it down. So instead of the guy telling me to shut my social media down, I just be like, you know, it's whatever. You don't want to be friends on Facebook? That's fine. But don't my shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that, you know, for me, if a woman told me that she didn't want to be friends on Facebook, you know, that's definitely a red flag. Or she didn't want to be, you know, they didn't want us to follow each other on Instagram. Those are definitely red flags. But also too, I'm not wired to go look at your. I'm not wired to go look on your page and see who's liking your pictures. Like that's just not. Like that's no big deal. Like why am I going to do that? Like I'm not. So you know, I've at least from a male standpoint, I've never understood that. But I know that there's guys nowadays that they act just as bad as women, or get just as emotional as women. But I'm not wired to. If you have your page and we're getting into a relationship, I'm not going to be looking to see who's liking your page, who's hearting your pictures. Like that to me is not even a conversation. But unfortunately, you have people nowadays that they see, oh, who's that bitch liking your page, or who's that bitch liking your picture, or who's that dude, you know, commenting on your picture. Right. And that's how the stuff starts. And I think that going back to having the conversation and discussion with your partner on how you're going to deal with social media here, you know, it needs to be something that really needs to happen. But most of these couples, they don't do that, because not every little thing that happens on social media is a damn problem, right? And I think that for those men who are confident in themselves and what they do, if they're getting into a relationship with a woman, they need to lay it down and be like, look, you know, if you're going to be on that social media bullshit trying to follow me everywhere or see who's liking my stuff and you want to argue over that, this ain't gonna work. Now, if you can't have honest, open communication with your partner, then obviously, you know, the relationship is going to fall apart anyway.
I think the problem.
I agree. Go ahead, hon.
I think the problem is, and it's a huge problem. I don't even think there's a solution for it. But social media is a woman's playground. Mm-hmm. Social media has given females a superpower that they never had before. They always have had the ability to command male attention, but now they have it on a global stage. So what social media has ultimately done is it's taking just a regular person, but in this case, a female, and it has given her limitless range. That's a problem. The disparity is that even with men, we still don't have that. You can do the same thing on social media as a guy and not reach a fraction of what a female would be able to do online. So I don't personally see it's a problem, because it's crazy when I hear people talk about relationships and the dynamics and the jealousy and, you know, all of these parameters. It sounds like there's a whole bunch of hurt people out in the world who don't need to be dating anybody until they until they can deal with the fact that entering into a relationship means that you are not going to be you're how would I phrase it? You're going to be involving yourself with being subjected to that individual, their temperament, their habits, you know, their communication styles, and a gambit of things. The issue is that most people are overly broken. They're traumatized. Right. And they really should not be involving themselves with anybody in their negative experience. Then you couple that with social media, and then you have conversations like, why does that person like your picture? How small is your world if you have the time to figure out that somebody liked your girl's picture, your guy's picture? That's problematic to me. That tells me that you're not prominent enough in your life, that you're doing enough, because that's a very small integer of value to be able to perceive that. That's dumb to me. If you're that shaken, you shouldn't be in a relationship, because social media.
My point exactly.
Yeah, social media is just going to exacerbate whatever is non-existent in you. If you're lacking confidence, first of all, you don't need to be dating. Secondly, don't be dating and then trying to be online and broadcast to the world, because that's problematic. But it's just a lot of differences.
Don't lie to me. It's when you lie, when you tell me you don't have a social media, and then when I find your social media, oh, it's for business, and I see nothing that has to do with business on your social media. And then when I say something, all of a sudden you post a bunch of shit from your business. It's the sneakiness and the deceit that pisses me off. I don't care if you have social media. I don't care what you do, but don't lie to me. And then later I find out, oh, I don't have this. Oh, I did it because of this. Oh, my sister set up my account. Shut the fuck up. Okay? I'm sorry. You're bullshitting me. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Be real with me from day one. Be a G about your shit. Okay?
But
don't say something and do something else.
Well, but there is where the problem is, because you get some of these guys, some of these people that they're not upfront. They're not straightforward with what they're, you know, they're not upfront. They're not straightforward. They're not having the real conversation and communication. So when they don't do that, then you have a recipe for what happens with you. But now, if they're able to have the real conversations and discussions and talk about, you know, have the conversation about social media, you know, and what are the do's, don'ts, you know, what do we understand, you know, all that stuff. And you know that the both of you are on the same page. That's completely different. Most people don't do that. So that's why the bullshit that happens.
Exactly. Why did I have to find out by, I wasn't looking for it. It just, you know how it pops up, suggestions and stuff like that? Why did it, and then I look at who you're following and who's following you. It has nothing to do with the business you're in. It's all gorgeous, but it's nobody within your circle that's related to your business. That is what irks me. Be real with me, because if I'm being real with you and being transparent with you, but that's neither here nor say. My comments are stacking up again because they're having their own little show, the comment section. So let me go ahead and
go right ahead.
So she had a cat between her legs. Yeah, you're right. That box is power, but you gotta know how to use that power. And then Facebook was originally for horny college students. It'll pop up. There it is. Facebook was originally for college students, but it blew up. Oh well, Don said Facebook was originally for horny college students, but it blew up. And then my baby girl said, I agree with you, Gotti. Then here comes the trust issues when all your time is on social media. Exactly. You're telling me it's about business, showing off, working out, you're showing off, you know, other shit. Don GQ said, I don't follow. Okay, I can respect that. And then he came back and said, it's a waste of time and money. And then he came back and said, he is one of my moderators. He's definitely engaged. He said, human resources are better used. Yeah, right, absolutely. And then here comes PA Texas. College students aren't the only group that's horny. I'm glad it blew up. That money has helped a few folks out. Out my channel, and I need more RAM. I need more storage, you know. But you have been one of the very few that has donated, and I do it. So, and then Don said at P Texas, that does not negate the fact that Facebook was created for horny colleges. And then I'm telling you, they're having their own show in the comment section. And then PA said, I didn't disagree with you. I mean that if you get one horny group, why not market to the rest of it? I know that's right. And then I see your point. And PA came back. Facebook changed, and now the rules the world. They can decide leaders and move the needle on public opinion however they see fit. Absolutely. And they can take your account down, they can delete you, they can do whatever they want. There is no freedom of speech, because I didn't been put in Facebook jail, and I didn't think I didn't say anything major, and it went against their guidelines. I'm like, whatever. Okay. But not only has 50% of relationships have experienced negative impact on social medias, but did you know that 1 out of 7 divorces now involve social media? And studies have shown that the use of social media is contributing to infidelity, not a surprise, jealousy, and conflict, which in turn actually turns into a divorce. 1 in every 7 divorces is because of social. And 44% it's making it harder. And 14% of young people agree that they are jealous of some relationships they see on social media, making them feel like a comparison game, and to their own, and one that they want to have. Look at people's lives. Like, I think a lot of these young girls got this warped mindset by watching these shows, Love and Hip Hop, you know, by watching Cardi B buy 10 Birkin bags, expecting a college 25 kid to give them a Birkin bag.
See,
Yeah.
they don't understand, right? So on Instagram, well, let's use Instagram because since a lot of young people follow Instagram, there's the snapshots of what look good, right? So I'll tell you something that happened with my artist that was here from Australia. So him and I went to have dinner with my attorney, right? And one of the clients for my attorney is a rapper by the name of Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? So Tekashi is always seen in the videos, in his pictures and some of the videos, having all this money, right? So now my artist, he was like, he's a fan of Tekashi, and he asked my lawyer, he's like, so what are these, I just seen him do this video. He's having all this, these bricks of money. And my lawyer was like, oh, don't pay no attention to that. He just likes marketing. That's all fake money. You understand? So you get people who see these pictures.
It is all fake.
Right, but you get people who see these pictures thinking that, oh, this guy got bricks of money and some of that money is fake. And, and that's fake bricks of money that they're holding up, but they're trying to make it look like it's real. Right? So you're going to get some people that's going to see that snapshot and think that it's real. Right? So it's a facade that a lot of these young people are buying into or falling for, and they think it's and they think it's real. And then the other thing is that the lifestyle, see, they don't even understand about these lifestyle. It's it's costly, right? So if you're going to be flying here or there or buying all these Birkin bags, as you said, or the Louis Vuitton, all of that, like, you got to maintain that, right? You got to maintain that. They don't understand that. So you got to have a certain type of income or incomes coming in that's going to allow you to comfortably maintain that lifestyle. Most of these people that's watching these Instagram clips or seeing these pictures, they don't even comprehend that. They're not even thinking like that because they see, oh, I want to get that life, and they don't even know and understand what that life entails and the financial stability or the financial security you need to have that kind of life.
The cars are rented, the jewelry is rented, nothing, I can't say nothing, but most of that is all props.
Mm-hmm.
Money, and just gives this facade to young men that that's the realm of reality, and they don't know how to separate fantasy from reality, and that's where the lines get blurred.
I've been in the entertainment business for many years, and I've seen what these artists do. I've seen what the record labels do to make these artists look like they're balling out like that. Now, there's some who have it like that, don't get me wrong, but then there's others that, no, they don't got it like that.
Exactly. To the HF tornado news, according 68% of people's relationship has been impacted by social media. So if it's through divorce, through cheating, and I'm not just trying to bring up the bad things, but this is what social media has caused. And 61% are looking through their partner's social media. I was never looking, when I was dating that gentleman, I was never looking at his social media until it popped up. And now you got this, you got that. You don't want me to be on Facebook. Why do you want to be on Facebook now? You see, it brings up too many questions, when if you would have just been real with me from day one, all of that, a lot of men say that women are insecure, but I think that sometimes it's also on, I can't say men, it's also on that person to lay the foundation so that person doesn't be insecure. If you do a lot of fuck shit that causes a person to feel insecure and not trust you, how are you going to turn around and call that person insecure? Oh, you have trust issues. But
Grace,
you're
that's the
it's causing me.
But that's the real conversation that's supposed to happen. That's the real conversation that's supposed to happen in the beginning. The real conversation that's supposed to happen in the beginning is supposed to nip the insecurity, set the boundaries, and make sure that when that conversation is done, that both of y'all are on the same page. So no surprises happen later on. But most people don't do that.
You're right. And we preach it. We preach it every week.
Look,
you know?
I say,
it's like you gotta have the conversations, especially at the beginning.
You know, I say, and there's a couple of women that I've spoke that I would dealt with in the past. They'll tell you, don't say I didn't tell you, right? Here's what I'm telling you now, X, Y, Z, or here's what you need to understand, right? And I lay it out, so you can't come back a couple of months later and tell me I didn't tell you. You understand? Like you gotta, like maybe from a man's standpoint, you gotta be real about it.
Maybe. I hear you, and not only that, guys, social media has also changed dating. I really feel that we have been desensitized. Our communication and engagement skills are lacking, which in turn turns us socially awkward.
Absolutely.
Does it not? You see a beautiful man or woman, and as soon as they open their mouth, you'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
You know, I gotta go.
Yep. So
I know you. Yeah, I know you. I know you get that a lot because there's complete sentences sometimes. I'm like, I mean, I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. So dating on social media has. The lack of privacy. You want to see how a couple is doing. You just go to their social media account. You can see everything that they're up to. There's no more living in private, no more happy life in private without your partner knowing everything or people outside. Number two, people just want instant gratification. Nobody wants to put the work in and have the conversations. They have what I call a microwave mindset. Makes sense?
Yep.
And nobody wants to build and grow with a relationship. People want partners to look and behave a certain way off the rip. You know, you already got to be a six figure. You already got to be six figures. You already got to do this, and you got to have this, and you got to have this. Traditional marriages were about helping each other grow and become the best versions of each other. And it's just not happening as much as it should be happening. How about we put it that way?
Yeah, they want, unfortunately, again, with this false image, they want stuff that's ready-made, and that's not how relationships work. And I mean, a real relationship is you're gonna build with your partner, right? That's what it's about, right? You're gonna build with your partner, emotionally, physically, financially. You build with your partner. Nowadays, it's not like that, right? You get a lot of these people that they want ready-made, right? They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to put in the time, effort. They want instant gratification. Well, that shit doesn't work. Like with anything.
And you're right.
Right? You got to build a foundation. You got to lay a solid foundation first. And part of building that solid foundation is being able to communicate be personal with each other, right? Connect with each
Have
other.
those hard conversations.
Right, have those hard. You
Mhm.
can't do that. You can't do that over social media. I got to talk to you on the phone. I got to see you in person and talk. Right? You can't. But that's not how. And a lot of these people, they don't even want to have the conversations. Right? Like, how are you going to get into a relationship with someone when all they want to do is text?
You know, I got in trouble once before that. They said you're too much of a texter because it was miscommunication due to the interpretation of the text.
Right.
So I have learned that if I see that it's getting to be too much through a text, I stop texting and I pick up the phone because I don't want no misinterpretation, miscommunication, all of that.
If the conversation, like, look, I think that there's some things that you could text, but if that person is important to you like that, and you feel that something, you know, you want to make sure whatever was texted or said, it, you pick up the phone and I want you to, you know, here's what I'm saying, or I hope you didn't misunderstand this, you know, so they clearly hear it, because when you hear somebody, you hear the emotion in their voice, right? You know, you hear the tone, you hear the pitch, you hear the vibe, you hear the energy, you get a feel. You can't do that from texting. Texting is what I don't like is you can't have important, serious conversations via texting.
And I agree with you. So I learn now to minimize communications when I feel that it's getting to be too much, or I'm misunderstanding, or they're misunderstanding me. I'll pick up a phone and call you.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's how it should be.
It gets to the point I have to see, because sometimes even it's not good enough, because language is very important when you're communicating. I think it's I don't want to say the percentage because I don't know for sure, but I know that body language is one of the highest aspects when it comes to communication. Can someone Google that for me? What is the percentage that body language consists of in communication? That's a good question.
Mm.
That's a good question. I gotta look that up.
Definitely body language. I mean, I think, yeah. When you're seeing somebody or you're talking to somebody face to face, then yeah, body language is very telling, right? It can be very telling. You know, but also how they talk to you, right? But how they talk, right? Because there's there's an energy when people
facial
talk.
Expressions.
Right. There's an energy. So you could feel if, okay, this person's just saying this just to say this, or I'm not feeling this. So and when you're in tune like that, you could tell if someone's just saying stuff just to say stuff, or if they're saying it and they genuinely mean it, right? They're genuinely concerned or genuinely into you or genuinely want you to understand.
Mm-hmm. So we're still out here. Face-to-face conversation has become obsolete, and I said that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where sensitizing is coming in, and we're becoming socially awkward. We're living in a non-interactive, non-media society. And the best definition is socially awkward. We're not having any more relationships or conversations. As a result, the connections are weak. You know, connections are diluting.
Of course.
Diluting. People have a hard time scheduling because of limited amount of options. Mind is exposed to a high number of options. It's hard to make a decision. Well, who do I go with tonight? Do I go out with a superhero?
But
to go out, okay, it's me a nice restaurant. I mean, you have a roster. You become to build a roster. And speaking of that, I have a great video that this young gentleman talked about that. So give me a second, because I'm actually going to play it now. We need to break the ice and show a video. so I can reel you guys back in. You know, is it this one? It's not this one. I'll still play it. Well, let me hold. I wanted to get that one. Give me just a moment. Okay, so we're trying to do that video because it falls in perfect with the thought that we just had. So let's get this one right here. You hear it? Can you guys hear it?
No, I can't hear it. I see it playing, but I can't hear it.
I just hear music.
Okay, now I can. Okay.
I don't
You
hear
hear
the
it?
video.
Nope.
Hold on. And we're gonna. Yeah, if like donating to the channel and supporting the channel, this is one of the reasons why we need that support, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and embrace the grace and drop that cash app. That feels so weird saying, and I watch other YouTube creators, they feel so comfortable with that shit. It's just it's weird to me, but I get it. You know, it's necessary. Okay, I got it. Sharing. Bring it back. Can you guys hear it? Yes or no?
I can't hear it. Nope. Nope.
Or Jade's one without mentality. I think men and women suffer for that. We're gonna be honest. People
I can
go into
hear it. It's
relationships
still loading.
with a one foot in, 1 foot out type of mindset. I'm constantly aware of what. As a matter of fact, most people go into the relationship like,
I can see
I'm
it and
doing
I
you
can
the
hear
favor.
it. Can
I
you
cut
guys
my roster for you.
I got it.
put
Yeah.
one in
And
the
I feel like
chat?
that's like it starts wrong. The foundation's wrong. So now when we're going, anything I don't like or anything that may be a bit left, I have zero grace for that. I have zero patience for that. Why? Because in my
Zero
DMs
grace.
current, there's are willing to do whatever I ask them to. Now again, that's why I say, because if you go actually get with the woman, she'll end up like the woman you already with as far as complacency. But that's the other the perception of what your options are jades people, and it creates a 1 foot in, 1 foot out mentality. I think men and women suffer for that, if we're gonna be honest. People go into relationships with a 1 foot in and one.
Okay, so that was a good example of how options can really like give you a very nonchalant, I don't give a fuck kind of attitude.
But
Next,
why?
on to the next. And then what's really more heartbreaking is that when you finally do decide to be like, okay, this is going to be for real. I'm going to make a real connection with this person. And then they you know what I'm saying? Reciprocate. What was the point? What was the point? And that's what happens when you have too many options.
But see, here's the thing. I mean, you know, you could eliminate options by conversation, right? At least, and that's what I've learned, right? And you know, nowadays, obviously, you get some of these people that they really don't want to talk, and it's like, and if they do, it's very little. And to me, that doesn't work, right? That I can't get to know you if you don't want to talk, or and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so, and to deal with someone, and even to get into a relationship with someone where you're not even fully invested, right? You're not even fully invested, because if you were fully invested, then you're not going to be thinking about options.
You're absolutely right. That's just it. You got to have the right timing, and you got to have the right timing with that person, and both people need to be on the right mindset.
Of course, right?
You can't be on chapter 3.
Yeah.
You can't be on chapter 3 and I'm on chapter 7 and understand what's going on in the story.
You have to be on the
same chapter.
You have to be on the same page, right? You have to be on the same page, right? And it's
okay. That's what I meant to say. You have to be on the same page.
You have to be on the same page. And see, this is why, sort of, that's one of the reasons why in some with some people or some couples, BDSM has become very popular, right? Because it's about communication, trust, setting your boundaries. Like, those are paramount. Those are, like, it doesn't work without that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work without that.
It makes it hard for a person to make it makes it hard for a person to make a decision when they have so many options, and behave like this. It eventually makes you feel alone. Have you ever been in a room full of people and you still feel alone?
I've heard that from people.
That's a weird feeling.
Yeah,
that's a weird feeling. The energy, maybe you're. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't want to interject. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would to Trill AC, shout out to Crew Season 8. They do their thing online. I think more men need more options, to be honest with you. I think I'm gonna be that guy. And the reason why is because
that's why you're here.
Well, you can tell. Okay, you can tell the type of guy who does not have that female access. It creates that imbalance. It creates that lack of confidence. And then what happens is that when he does just so happen to land one woman, this is why I kind of push back on some of the old heads when they talk about you should just rush out and just, get married and, then that's it. And that's fine if it's set up that way. But what I would argue is that it's very hard to be your best self as a man if you don't have a range of being able to communicate with different styles, maybe different cultures, different demographics of females. For us, that's necessary, in my honest opinion. That's just how I see it. And I can see the vast difference between guys who don't get girls and guys who do. It is a night and day difference. A man who was in a position to always command that, I would say, is more hyper focused and can get a lot more done because he can allocate. We're very compartmentalized in the way we process. Very true. Once you get enough females, you start to realize they're generally all the same. They're headaches. They're going to come with some nonsense. They're going to have some level of something you're going to have to teach them. It's going to be some freaking BS. They're going to somehow, some way think they're overly important compared to all the 8 billion people on the planet. It's just a lot of crap that comes with it, but you can navigate it different. But when you're a dude who thinks that they're all great and they're awesome, and then she does something to shift your belief system, like talk to a different dude or cheat on you or whatever, that's hard for a man to digest if he's isolated himself to think that everything is supposed to come from that female. And that's wrong. It doesn't give you enough of a solid foundation. Because when you have enough interaction, you start to realize that it's really repetitive for the most part. And you have a less, you don't move in an obligation state of, I have to make her happy. I have to do these things. You understand very
you want to, not because you
have
to.
I'm sorry, Grace, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, do you look at it as it's a better version when you do things because you want to, not because you have to, when it comes to being with women?
Yes, but I would say it's even better when you realize they have to earn it, and that you don't just be out here just giving out all of your goodness and all your grace. And that's the difference. That's what I'm saying. When you interact with enough women, you start to realize very quickly they are very aware of what they're capable of. Most men don't know what they're capable of socially. That's the problem. Every woman knows she can walk into a bar, a Costco, or anywhere and get any attention from men that she needs, whether it's getting something off a shelf to buying her a drink. Every man doesn't have that ability the same way. And I think that's a problem. They need to realize that because it changes how you see the world. It really calibrates you, in my opinion. And it breeds the confidence, because overwhelmingly I hear women talk about men don't have enough confidence. I'm like, well, that's because they don't know how to get along with you guys vastly. If they did frequently, you would see confidence. They would have no issues. It would balance and change everything. And I believe that's what you see the difference between the mid-century men to now. It's not that men were better back then. It's that men back then got a different response from women because they had a natural understanding. I'm a man, I got a job, I come from a good family, I'm confident, I have something to offer. Now, the standards are different. You can't just have a job, you got to be a millionaire. You can't just be a millionaire, you got to be 6'5". You can't just be a millionaire.
They're unrealistic standards. They're unrealistic, true.
Exactly.
They're unrealistic. Exactly. And it's funny that you talk about this. I'm going to put it in another way, and I want to see if you and me are on the same page. I go around telling men here, y'all need to start taking your place on your position at the table, head of the table. Too many men are sitting on the side when they should be at the head of the table. But then again, it comes with the vicious cycle, is like, who are teaching these men to have that confidence and to be that type of man? Because I told my son, you are tall, you are handsome, you are funny. You've been working since you were 14. You were the first one out the crew to have a license. You were the first one out the crew to drive a car. When you walk into a room, bitches' pussies should be twitching. They should be wanting to fight for you. You walk in there and you don't ask for respect. You're going to demand it. See, we don't install enough worth into our boys. I said, and you're going to have haters because you're walking with confidence, and they mad that they don't have that confidence, but you just keep your head upright and you stay on your purpose. And well, I learned that from my dad, and I taught my son that. And that's the importance of having a man in your life. You know what I'm saying? So true. Am I kind of like close to what you were trying to say?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a very convoluted situation, but you're right. I'm more so speaking from the point that Trill, if I understood him correctly, he's saying that we have entirely too many options, and so therefore that creates this sense of you don't prioritize one individual. I agree. However, I would argue that for the development of a man, I would say that that's necessary. I would say that is needed because, see, what you'll hear in these spaces is that a lot of men are trying to figure out how to become the best version of self so that when they do finally decide to become a man, potentially a husband, and then be the leader of a community and a household, well, he has to have something to offer that woman past him just being a man. How do you get that? How do you get those experiences? How are you able to be optimal for a woman in a potential family if you have not lived any level of experience, if you have not exchanged, the purging of yourself through multiple situations with women? Now, I'm not saying you go out there, you bed hop and be foolish. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in order to really grow and range yourself to be that best man, in my opinion, you have to be inundated with female attention, and you need it from a vast majority of them: the educated ones, the non-educated ones, the service workers, the cultured ones, the overly religious ones. Like, you need that. But if you've never dealt with that and you get this woman, I promise you're going to have problems because you only have one muscle. I'm here, she's here, and you're operating blind. It's a very different experience when you've had a multitude of situations and she comes and she gives you female nature and you're like, yeah, you can start registering
you
your
can recognize it. You can see the red flags. You can be like, oh, this bitch she's doing sign language right now. There goes the shame. Okay, there goes the insult. 5, 4, 3. Oh, there's the shame.
Pretty much.
And then now 30 minutes later, and you still feel the need to be right.
But what
actually do that when I'm having a argument or disagreement with what I just did. Because men do it too. Men display sign language.
That's true.
Yes, they do. It's a little bit more discreet. And if you don't know about sign language, rest in peace, Kevin Samuel, you're not gonna pick up on it.
That's
I'm
funny.
like, wait a second, did he just try to make me feel guilty? Get the fuck out of here.
What were you saying, Gary?
I was gonna say, to your point, I always would say that, and I definitely agree with you with dealing with all different types of women, but when you strip it all away, no matter what their status is, I always say, like, the names and faces may change, but a lot of times at the core, the attitude is the same.
Same script, different character.
Right. So and that was something that I always said. So and to True's point, if a guy hasn't experienced different kind of women, he's not going to know. He's not going to understand that. Right? You could pretty much, if he has, then you could pretty much predict and know, okay, here come the bullshit. Or,
So the more exposure, this is what I'm getting from you guys. The more exposure a man has to different types of women and relationships and interactions, not just sexually, just regular interactions, that will enhance a man's confidence and better become a better version of himself.
Well, he's gonna have, yes, because he's gonna have to learn.
Are we gonna throw in dick discipline in that too? Because
well, my gripe with dick discipline is that, and I could be wrong. Women overwhelmingly are not just volunteering their vagina to you. Like you said, it shouldn't just be sexual. I tell my boys this all the time. You should be talking to women just to socialize. That develops yourself. It should not be linear. Like she's let me get her to the bedroom. Like, no. Okay, first of all, kick y'all some game. If you can develop the socialization of dealing with women, sex that's a part of the game. That's gonna come whether you want it to come or not, because it's just like I discovered that years ago. I was like, you talk to females long enough, booty gonna show up. Like that's just
exactly.
So
great facts.
The mind first, the body
will
follow.
Great facts.
The body will follow. But a lot of guys think that my only objective to dealing with a female is sex. Sex only. They're missing it. They're missing a world of experiences.
Right.
But that comes with the microwave mindset.
But here's the problem. But here's the problem, I think, to the point. Now we have these women with OnlyFans all over the place. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got a lot of these women, they got OnlyFans all over the place, and they're inboxing guys to come join their OnlyFans. And OnlyFans, they're showing sexually charged pictures.
Mm-hmm. And then wonder why they get treated like a hoe. Oh, wait a minute.
But this is what I'm saying. And now OnlyFans, what did they make? Like 500 million last year? Some crazy shit? Like, but so that obviously somebody's buying and subscribing.
But that's only because there's such a divide in the socialization of women and men. If more men were having success with women, I'm not saying OnlyFans wouldn't exist, but I don't believe it would be as prominent as it is. I honestly don't, because go ahead.
No, because look, even on OnlyFans, and you had said something earlier about regular women. OnlyFans now, the girl next door could be popular on OnlyFans. She could have guys paying her, I don't know, $25, $30 a month for her to take these to have these half-naked pictures, and now she's feeling herself. So we come to a point where now things are more sexually charged now than before. So so now when these women, and look, I've gotten it on Facebook, I've gotten it on Instagram, where they want a friend request, and then the next thing they want to send you their Instagram link. Not an Instagram link, sorry. Your their OnlyFans link.
Yep. Or their cash out.
Like what kind of shit is that, right? So now any guy, and they talking about, oh well, they don't want any DMs. So basically, you just want to be my friend. You just want me to. You just want to be my friend so I could sign up and pay to join your Instagram so I could see your half-naked pictures? Really?
Yep. That's what we've come to. Yep. Just like today, I got a dick pic.
So it's a crazy time now. But I mean, but these younger guys, this is what they're having to deal with, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's making dating harder because it promotes jealousy. People are becoming more insecure with themselves because they tend to compare, feel unworthy, or they think they're just not good enough. So it fucks with your head. It messes with your psyche because people are having a hard time differentiating from reality to fantasy. And it's crazy. The couples feel insecure, territorial, when significant others are liking pictures or stories, emojis, comments, can cause miscommunications, arguments, and can have eventually lead the relationship towards a downward spiral. You know? And it's crazy. But I got some good news, guys. There are actually 7 ways to practice social media etiquette in your relationship to, see if we have the hard conversations prior and things and embrace things, we can maybe do better at this. So let me go ahead. I'm drowning again in these damn comments. I'm not used to this, but that's okay. That's okay. I guess I need another moderator, So let's see what it says. I don't follow women. We did that. PA. They talked about that. PA says snitch 99. I guess they were talking and check your message. Okay, I did that. Not everything you see online is legit. Yeah, that was my goddaughter. She said not everything you see online is legit. The industry is literally a show. Absolutely. I would agree with you. I mean, some is sincere, some is genuine, but a lot is just for show.
A lot is for show, yeah.
I was doing a video last night. I didn't like the way the woman was talking. Her voice was irking me, so I didn't bring the video up. But she was saying that people only post when they're having their best time of their life. They don't post the bad times. They don't post the heartbreaks.
But also some people. But also some people be faking it. Like there was this hip hop artist, Bow Wow. He put up a picture like he was traveling on a private jet. I guess someone took another picture and put it up online. I was like, nah, this dude faking jacks. He's flying a regular flight like everybody else.
And then Mookie said that's a lifestyle of fraudulent behavior and it's all an illusion. That part. Mm-hmm. And then PA came back and said most music people are getting donkey dick down by record company. Oh, you know what? I need to read these before I post these.
No.
I'm going with you, PA. the music industry is demonic. I mean, it could be. I've heard a lot of things, but I'm not going to talk on that. Not, at least not right now. I'm from a place where there are more famous people per capita than most anywhere on earth. Port Arthur, Texas. So my buddies in that industry told me what happens. Okay. And then rest in peace, Pimp C put us on the map in the music industry. Oh, that rhymed. Look, you were a poet and you didn't even know it. His real name is Chad Butler. We called him Chad. Okay, let me see. I mean, up there, they're still talking about this rapper, man. Tell you, okay, here we go. PA's talking truth. Man, let me tell you at truth. These ladies talk about all this hype, money, and all you need is to do is crack a good joke, do some body kissing, and install the wood. If I had a contest of coming at the night, this would be a runner-up. Hilarious. Oh my goodness, I'm done with you, PA. But you bring it. You always bring it. Let me go ahead and go. My God. And these women start arguing, and they're hardly ever right. And what else? I can make a woman buy me a drink if they weren't so broke. Man walk up to a chick and tell her, you are the first lady I talk to all day whose breath doesn't smell like she's been chewing doo-doo-licious bubble gum and eating shit tacks. And she giggles. That's how you do it. That's how you get them, PA? Because I wouldn't laugh at that. I wouldn't. But I still take that drink. Anyway, but yeah, guys, so here we go. 7 ways to practice social media and have etiquette in your relationship. The first one is practice shared accessibility. Unless you're bound to confidentiality, access to computers, smartphone, and other devices, if partners want to see what's going on social media or on the web, you should let them. Why wouldn't you grant them access? Healthy relationships don't harbor secrets. Have the conversation. You know how to throw that in. So what do you feel about that? Do you think that No?
I mean, I'm not against it, but at the same time, why am I going to look like I'm not wired to go look into my lady's social media account. Like, that's not where I'm at. Right? That's so that
female asked you, in order for us to date, you would have to be comfortable for me to be in your social media.
And you need to be in my social media. Why?
Because I want to see that you're doing right by me and not disrespecting me.
So you're not going to take my word that I'm not doing anything like that.
I'm just trust and verifying. I mean, we're having a conversation like people would, like people are supposed to be having the conversation.
Well, yeah. Because I mean, it's to me, yeah. I'm not wired to do that. Like, why am I? Like, I'm not going to go through your stuff like that. If we're in a relationship, then I'm trusting you, right? I'm trusting you, right? Okay, so I'm not going to.
We're having the conversation,
right? I'm trusting.
What do you have to say about that?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
no.
But are you hiding something that you won't let me go? You won't let me have. I'm not saying I'm going to be all in your shit, but I just want to know that I'll have access to ask you to see it or look at what you're doing.
Well, I try not to introduce things into my relationship that are going to be something we may revisit in the past when you actually do have doubts or concerns or worries. So why start off on a bad foot? You know, that's just not interested in that.
And by the way, True, let me know that communication, 70% of it is body communication. So I knew it was a large number, but I didn't know exactly. But that means 30%, that leaves only verbal and body, verbal, and words, just words itself. So that's important too. So sometimes you might not have to have that conversation on the phone. You might have to have that shit in person.
Some things, yes. Some things
to get down and dirty.
Well, sometimes,
Okay,
depending on how serious or important the conversation is, then yeah, it might have to be in person, because you want to see the look in a person's face, right? You want to see their body language. You want to see how they respond and stuff like that. Because I mean, yeah, depending on how serious the conversation is, they could hide. So they could hide certain emotions behind the phone.
I have that little trick on Snapchat that your messages can disappear right away.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Wow. So I guess that's why they send the pictures and then it disappears right away, right? Is that... Okay, so True says hell no. Well, Gary says it's not necessary. True says hell to the no. Okay. And I say,
let me say
eventually. I don't say right. Go ahead.
Let me say this. Now, in something similar, if we're in a relationship and let's say, I don't know, my phone is in the kitchen and it rings, you could answer the phone and see who it is. I'm not hiding that, right? And not to say I'm hiding anything, but I mean, for social media, it's
necessary.
It's not necessary, right? Okay, I'm trusting you. I'm not.
That's what I got from you. It's not necessary, and True said hell to the no.
Yeah.
I got it right, True?
I'm trying to be diplomatic, right? I'm trying to be diplomatic about it. It's not necessary.
Well, this is my take on it. Not right away, but eventually. I'm not one to go into your shit unless you give me a reason. I don't actively look. I have to have a reason. Okay, True, we'll agree to disagree. Number 2, allow your partner to be friends.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But here is the thing, though, and I actually went through this a while back, right? Where if I agree, right? So if I agree and you go do that, so if you say you have a bad, I don't know, you got a bad feeling, or somebody said something and you want to go look, and if I let you look and you see that's nothing there, we're done, right?
Why? Why? Make me understand. Why are we done? So I was wrong. My bad.
So you was, but see, that's it. But the thing is, if you feel that something's there and it's not, and I show you that nothing's there, then it's like that. To me, we got to be done after that, because you coming to me.
Okay,
I already told you. I already told you and explained to you there's nothing there, but you still want to push it.
So I should take your word for it.
You still want to push it.
All the way.
Right. So if I tell you and you're not trusting my word, right?
You
Hold on.
Offended that I didn't take your word for it.
Right. If you're not trusting my word, and I say to you, babe, look, there's nothing there, but you want to push it, and I say, well, look, if you go in, I'll let you go in there, but once you see nothing's there, just know that we're done.
You're being you're giving an ultimatum on the low. If you check
he's giving a boundary. That's not an ultimatum.
That's a boundary, right? Like see, some of y'all women may not understand that. Like, because as I said, if I done told you and said, babe, there's nothing there, you ain't got to worry about nothing, but you still want to push the issue, right? And And I'll say, look, all right, I'll let you see to show you there's nothing there. But no, understand, once there's nothing there, then we're done.
I love this conversation. I'm gonna tell you why, because I've had this conversation with, actually, it was a panel of married people some years ago, and you know, everyone agreed that it should be
right now. I am in right now. I'm learning from you gentlemen. I told you I'm very ignorant to the fact of social media. So y'all are school. I'm embracing y'all. This is some real shit, because
This is
well,
I don't know how to act. I don't want to lose a good man or push a good man over some bullshit ass social media shit.
well,
as I True. Just give me 1 second. As I said, always said in the beginning, Grace, having the real hard conversation, the real conversations. So if we're having that and we're understanding each other, then it should never get to that.
Okay.
yeah.
I
Plus,
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think it's dangerous
Moving
because, I think it's dangerous because we already know that the sexes communicate very different. The way men socialize is very different. The way women socialize is very different. And I had just found that anytime you give a woman access to something like your phone, which is a personal thing, whether you're doing anything or not, it's left to interpretation. It's going to open up more dialogue that sometimes is not what she may perceive it to be, mainly because there is some level of insecurity in her. There's
Very
some level
true.
of doubt in her. Whether you're a good man to her, she's had no reason not to trust you or not. And so the way I look at it is like, I'm not going to create an environment that allows you to exercise a freedom of like going through my phone, because there is going to be a day that's going to come that you're going to doubt my word. There's going to be a day that's going to come that something's going to happen where you're going to read deeper into it than what it really is. It could be at a mixer. You see a social, a coworker of mine or associate of mine where we interact and we giggle and we laughing, and maybe it's been 20 minutes and I haven't came over and said nothing to you, or maybe I interacted with her briefly and didn't introduce you. That's just how women are. If I give you the access of going through my phone, this is going to automatically tell you that that is allowed. And then you're going to use that in the future. I just feel like it's not necessary. I feel like it's already screaming that this is some level of insecurity. Also, the biggest part of it and why I push back on it so aggressively is that anytime you can talk to me as my equal, as another adult, and command me or demand me to show you my phone, you automatically are taking a position of authority in my life. And you're not my mother, nor are you my employer, nor are you the government. So I'm subjecting myself to an authority position you have as a grown man. That makes no sense to me. I'm not your subordinate. We're equal in that sense. So I would never demand you as my woman to be like, show me to verify. No, if I got a concern, I'm gonna talk to you. If there's something I don't like, we're gonna have a conversation as adults. I don't need to go into your phone, look through your phone records, follow you where you at. That's crazy to me.
My exact point.
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, so that's for me, it's that. It's if we're in a relationship, sweetie, and I'm treating you as the grown woman you are, there is under no circumstances are you allowed to ever put me in a secondary position and say, you owe me this to make me feel secure. No, I don't. Ever. Because you're not my authority. Ever. It just, so like Gary said.
Is doing her, True. What if that man is doing her and I do find something? And I was right.
How would you can only find something if you're looking for something? Like, it'd be different if you blatantly see it. Like, but most females do not have hard proof. They have this intuition, or what I like to call female gas, because they think that somehow, some way, something's occurring. And that's not always the case. So if you have doubt, open your mouth and let's have a conversation about it. The moment you think that your emotions or your feelings or your security is more valid, more important than the trust that we've established, the communication that we've established, you have ruined that relationship. And what
Can we say that for the people in the back so they can hear it?
Yes, say that again, True, because you're dropping some true gems right now. You're dropping some true gems.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
I'm gonna have to clip this, True.
most guys won't stand firm on that. They're so subjected to always exchanging their position of masculinity and leadership. I'm not gonna do that. So I want to always have a relationship that's built on foundational pillars: communication, trust, honesty.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why the phone thing for me, that's an automatic hard no. I don't care who she is. Now, if I have given and volunteered that, if I have said, hey, check it out, or if I've shared that with you as an option, let that be my option. But you are never allowed to exercise that as, well, I should be able to, or you love me, right? No, chick, not that much. It's you have a hard boundary here.
Exactly.
Oh, that's right. I love the passion. I love it.
Exactly. Can I just say this?
True gems embrace the grace.
Let me just say this quick. I've had a few female friends of mine who actually three are engaged, the other have regular boyfriends, and all of them, they were like, and they have no qualms in saying, oh, well, when he goes to sleep, I go through his phone.
Nah. Hold on, guys. I'm dry. The conversation's so good that I'm slacking here. Hold on. I gotta read them first before. Kimberly Sanders is here. Thank you, babe. I haven't seen you here before, but thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like. That's just like taking your shoes off at the front door and coming to sit down. Okay. And then she said, I'm the same way. I don't look until someone gives me a reason to. Okay. And then she came back and said, I heard that before, but it turned out that it was happening right in my face with his work friend that I could see when I pop up at his job. Nah, she can have my social media. I'm wild. She gonna see everything she looking for. Ain't no secret. I'm DMing her sister for some action. They can't whip my ass, so I ain't never scared. You know what? I'm done. I ain't never scared. He right with what he's saying. We not his authority over him, but I know my children daddy has tried me. Yeah, I've been trying. And then yes, you know exactly who I am. Damn. Okay, Kimberly. Okay. Okay, Publix. I need to say. Okay, so now can we move on to number 2, because this was pretty passionate on Truth's Table.
Go right ahead.
Oh, that was a good one too, on Truth's Table. I'm seeing the cleverness of your name now. It's coming out. Okay, number 2. Allow your partner to be your friend or follower on social media. It says here, if you are in a committed relationship, your partner's friend or follower is exercising good social media etiquette. So what do we have to say about that? Becoming friends or a follower on your Instagram media page.
I have no problem with that.
Gary, you have to say.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, True?
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's no issue.
Being a friend, being friends or a follower, again, even with that, for me, that I'm not wired to go looking through your pictures or comments to see who's there.
Okay. I mean, so why would you need number 1? Why would I need access to your phone if you're allowing me to be your friend? Well, I know there's a lot of shit people can do, even though you're friend. Never mind. I just answered my own question. Okay, so that was an easy one. Number 3, post images that convey respect. Avoid posting photos that could offend, embarrass, or hurt your partner. Don't post flirtatious, suggestive, or inappropriate things. Use discretion and common sense. When in doubt, don't post. Don't forget, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So now we're getting a little, we're getting a little deeper. So we're friends on Facebook, true. We're dating. We're kicking it. Well, a person like me would understand that you're on YouTube and you know a lot of people and you're going to be networking and, you're a handsome guy. You're going to attract. See, I'm a little bit older, so I think I can kind of be okay with that because I have to understand what what you're trying to do. But let's say you have your regular girl and now y'all are friends and she don't really know how big you are. And yeah, I'm putting it out there. So, we got to put it out there in the universe. And she feels like you're starting to post things that are inappropriate. How do you guys deal with that?
I had a situation similar, but it wasn't so much about the relationship. It was content based. I had posted a picture of a girl because I kept on trying to explain what I thought to be sexually casual. So I used a visual aid of a girl who had a sexually casual look. And my ex-girlfriend actually had an issue with that, mainly because she just felt some type of way about it. She took it further than what it was. I didn't really care because.
What was it, sexual casually? You got to rewind that for me. I'm trying to process it.
I was trying to explain to my female friends, at least for me, that when I was saying that. So I have certain things I don't really allow. Like I don't let girls show up at my house if we're going out on a date with sneakers on, unless we're going to the basketball game or the football game. Like she has to look a certain way. If she shows up with sneakers on, we're not going nowhere. And so I've explained this to my female friends, and what I found is that they don't know the difference. So what I'm like, you should dress your best. But they automatically think like prom, wedding, like a woman making herself up. She goes to the range of like, oh, I got to do all this work. It's going to take me 4 hours to get ready. And I'm saying, no, it could be sexy casual. It could be nice fitted jeans and a nice top. Do your hair, little accessories. So I used the picture. I used the visual aid of what I was talking about. And my ex did get mad about it because she felt that I was not so much talking about her. And I explained it to her. I was like, it's not about you. This is more for the audience, and the content I was creating. But for me, if I was with a girl and she was posting online, the only time I would have an issue is if her behavior online is not reflective of what I experience her to be in real life. Like if she's, respectful and has decorum and those things while, she's around me, but then on her live, she's like twerking in public and like getting pitch drunk and falling all over the place, or maybe giving a dude a lap dance, like some crap like that. That would be problematic for me. That would be extremely problematic.
She's a representation of you.
Exactly.
And that's not who you know her to represent herself. And it's funny that you say that, True. I had that experience where a guy told me to change. But okay, I'm gonna tell this short version. I was coaching a game. We were gonna meet for the first time, so he was gonna come to my basketball game. So at lunchtime at work, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I bought me a fresh Adidas outfit from head to toe. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I come out and he was like, oh no. I'm like, what? I'm about to coach a game. What I'm the type of coach that paces up and down the court. I bend down when I call a timeout. I'm all into it. He was like, first of all, I can't tell who the players are or who the coach is. You look just like the players. And then he said, you too fine to be dressed like I don't want to say the word, but just imagine an all sports outfit. And I'm like, but he was like, look, and he was smooth with it. I don't mind you dressing like that, but if you want me to come to the basketball game with you, you can't be dressed like that. So he gave me the option. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you could dress like that. I don't have a problem with it. You're just not with me. And I'm like, you know what? So I really had to, like, the old one, if I was 20 or 25, I would be like, well, whatever, I'm going dressed like this and da 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 da. But I said, nah, this nigga fine. he got it. You know,
What that and
I'm like-
it's crazy, but go ahead, Gary.
To your point, True, like I definitely agree, because I mean I guess I'm kind of spoiled, right? I'm kind of spoiled because when I go out, or if I'm going out with a woman, like, the hair, the nails, the heel, like that's just how it works. That's like
that's your thing. That's how it has
that's
to
my
be.
thing.
And
That how if she
You know?
can't do that, then we can't. Because I mean, look, many years ago, one of my mentors on Wall Street, he said, "Your lady's an extension of you," right? So when you're going out, right, you want to make sure that your lady's looking properly. She represents you, and ever
But
since
even
then,
when she's not going out with you, Gary, she still
Exactly,
represents you when
But
she's out by herself. Ooh, Lord,
Exactly.
y'all saw Grace Gary's woman? She look a hot mess at Publix. Ooh, but when I get it.
But this is what I'm saying. So I've been kind of spoiled, because the women that I've dated it wasn't nothing for them to dress a certain way because that's how they were, right? Some women, you got to twist their arm for them to do their hair, their nails, wear heels and stuff like that. And there's other women that's just regular for them, right? So and I think it's important. So for me, that's my thing. So when you talk about, if we're gonna go out, this is how you have to do. Absolutely. I was like, this is how you got to be, because when I'm out, like the only time I wear sweats is when I'm home. Right? When I leave, I'm not.
So let me end the story real quick, Gary. So this is how the story ended. My ass went back to my room and I changed. I found something cute. I found something feminine, but it had to be comfortable. Because remember, I'm about to coach a middle school basketball game. I'm not, So when I came out, he was like, that is much better. And do you know, for the rest of the season, unless it was cold, I took on that dress style. I got more respect. I got more attention. Because coaches and refs were trying to holler, but it's like sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone and do something different, especially if you want to obtain something. It could be a person, it could be a job, it could that's why they say dress for the position you're applying for. Right?
Yeah, right?
In that mindset. So if Gary and True say to the girl that they're talking to, look, I like your hair done, I like the nails done, I like you to wear heels, they're giving you the playbook. It's not up to you. Well, it is. You can make the decision. Nah, fuck that. I ain't doing that. But then you won't be dating True or Gary anymore. You'll be moving on to a Pookie who's okay with that bullshit. I mean, and again, I guess it's the word. Men are allowed to have standards too, ladies. Whoever ladies are in my line, they're allowed to have standards. And you can't get mad at them because they were taught better. The ones that don't give a shit how you look, and the ones that you walk out the door any kind of way, they don't respect you because they don't care how you look. So with that being said, but we got off track a little bit. But number 3, what do you feel about posting inappropriate things? I mean, you're talking to a girl, your friends on Facebook and Instagram and whatever, and she feels some type of way that you're all hugged. Like my homeboy came to my job one day and we were so happy to see each other because we graduated from high school together. And we took such a snug picture that people were congratulating us. They thought we became a couple. That shit was so funny. I'm like, wow. It was hilarious. They were like, yeah, they told me congratulations over 20 times. They think we're a hot item. Just because so what if, I mean, I wouldn't have took a picture like that if I was actively dating somebody. That would have been, to me, inappropriate. But we were happy to see. How would you guys feel about that? you see a girl that you're dating and she takes a kind of a close-knit picture of somebody on Facebook, but you see the post on the bottom, high school, we graduated from the same high school, whatever. How would you guys take that?
I mean, if it's, look, I think that, if I know that, that's your high school friend or what have you, then it's not gonna be no big deal. Like, I'm not gonna get bent out of shape over that. No, it's
what
not
if
like
your woman does? Okay, like you and me, Gary, we're friends. We haven't seen each other in a while, and we're having dinner, and somebody takes a picture of us, and we're posted. Gary embraces the grace and all of that, and then the girl that you're dating back in New York feels some type of way. How do you handle that?
Well, I think that to me, I don't think that would be a problem, because if she's that important, if she's that important to me, she would know who you are, right? Because when I'm dating a woman and we're really into each other, I give her insight to what my life is, right? So it's not going to be something like, oh my God, like he's down in Atlanta and he's doing this, or he's with this. It's not going to be like that.
So you'll give her the intel.
Yeah, she would already know.
Okay. What about you, True? How do you feel about posting inappropriate thing? It says here, number 3, to have good social media etiquette, you don't post things that can offend you, embarrass you, hurt you. You have to use discretion. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I think that you gotta really be intentional by educating your woman on what you perceive to be disrespectful. But a part of that is allowing her to showcase her natural self and her natural state. And while you observe it, then you should, be wise enough to be, once you see how she moves, because respect is subjective. So you're going to see a different thing than she does. I'm pretty easygoing for the most part. My biggest thing is don't give a direct action in a picture that could be perceived as deeper than what it is. A hug of a friend and stuff, that's nothing. Now, if you are kissing the cheek of this friend of yours and you take a picture of it, to me, that's more. That's too close. That I would have questions about that, because it's like, even though that could, I get it, culture and stuff, double cheek kisses, and that's normal, but to do that
and posting it.
Yeah, to do that and then document it, it's like, yeah, but okay, yeah, I would have questions about that. So absolutely.
Okay. So you would agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So number 5, exercise accountability. Do not post about relationship issues on social media. I know you guys both agree with this, because we're all about having the conversation. Nobody should know what's going on in our relationship, but us. Well, it's not always going to be us too, because friends and family members, but it should not be on social media, because people would take advice from strangers over like their friends or their family. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you shouldn't put stuff on social media, because you're gonna get in your feelings about some comments, or somebody's gonna be harsh, or somebody's gonna talk shit, and it's not good. What do you guys have to say on that? Did you guys hear me? Gary? True?
Can you repeat it? It broke up a little bit.
About exercising accountability.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you
crossing boundaries.
Well, I mean, look, it goes back to having a social media conversation, like I would say. Make sure you're not posting anything that you and your partner, y'all don't like, or I mean, kind of like what you said. I'm pretty easygoing. I'm pretty simple. So, like, I don't want to see you posting anything crazy out or out of order. So you have to have some type of accountability or what you post. But even before that, you know, we would have had the conversation, so she would already know like what she can and can't post, so to speak, or what the boundaries are. But then also too, if her and I are already getting, if we're getting into a relationship, I would already seen like her social media and how she is, right? So there would be nothing out of the ordinary, if you will, that she would be posting.
I hear you. And what about now? There's a little cliff note here. Stay away from the DMs, especially with people that could potentially lead to either an emotional or physical affair. How do you guys feel about them DMs?
I mean, like, I don't think that, at least for me, you know, I really don't pay them no mind like that. Now, again, with her, she has to know, like, we obviously had a conversation, and she would know how to deal with guys guys in her DM. And
Well, I
clearly,
slid in your DM, Grace, because your status shows that you're single. So I figure
But
I
yeah,
can
but-
holler at you.
oh, the single. Hey, listen,
I mean, I'm
listen.
giving you scenarios. I'm playing devil's
Well, I get
advocate.
it, but there are guys. But listen, there are people, when they see your status change to being in a relationship, they want to slide in your DM more, right? Some people, because they feel it's more it's more challenging or something like that. But I mean, it's your lady is supposed to know how to handle that, right? She knows that guys are going to be hitting up in her DM, and she, put it on read, and it shouldn't be no problem because y'all do that a lot any old way.
Do what? Do what, Gary?
Put messages on read, like where or not even check the messages, right?
I'm Android, so you talking about some iPhone shit.
No. I got Android too, where there are, so a lot of y'all women, y'all get messages from guys that y'all don't even look at. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So now if you're in a relationship, right? So if you're in a relationship with someone, then you're really not going to be paying attention to a guy that's going to be coming into your inbox.
True. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I would say the accountability for sure. Just don't post anything that you have to feel it necessary to explain later. And like Gary said, we should have already had this conversation. I would personally align myself with a woman who doesn't derive any extra, self-esteem or anything from a digital, attention. She would be able to separate social media from reality. That's just a part of the vetting process.
There you go. Separate social media from reality. Absolutely.
I already know what True's going to say to this, but consider sharing passwords. According to Pew, 67% of internet users in a committed relationship or marriage have shared passwords to one or more online accounts with significant other, and ask why you think sharing passwords. True, you don't even have to say anything because I already know it's the hell to the nah. If you're not letting me look at your phone, you sure as hell ain't giving me your password. Gary, it's over. If I ask you for your password, it's over.
Yeah, what? For what? What do you need my password for? Right? What do you need my password?
I want to see if you're fucking around. I want to see if you're fucking around on me and what you're doing.
Oh,
I want to see how you're moving in these social media.
I see. All right.
Bro, I'm
now,
the conversations how women are gonna give them to you. We're role playing right now.
Oh, I got it. Listen.
To the nah. I wish I had that song. Hell to the nah.
Hey, listen, I completely understand, but yeah, there's no need for my password. But now here's the other thing though. If we were a lifestyle couple and we wanted to do a lifestyle page for the both of us, then absolutely. We could do that.
Okay. Number 7 and the last one. Set time limits. We can easily get absorbed in the cesspool of social media platforms, email, text, news sites, and games. All that time on social media is time we are not connecting or engaging with our partner. Consider setting time limits or boundaries around how and when to use social media and technology when sharing time with your partner. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that, always connecting, or, keeping the connection and the spark between you and your partner is very important. And you definitely don't want to be in a relationship where the partner is always on social media. And I think also, as you're getting into the relationship, these are behaviors that you're going to see, right? So if you're starting to get into this relationship with her and you're seeing that she's always on social media, that could be a problem, right? That could be, because you don't want to get into a relationship with someone that's always going to be on social media for personal reasons, right? Now, if she's on social media because she has to do her business, right, then that's different. But if she's going to be on social media all the time for personal reasons or for validation, then no, that's going to be a problem. The thing is, that's not going to work.
Okay. Let me get into some of these comments, True, because we already know how you feel to the no. So I wish I had that song, that little thing. Hell, you know that song, Hell to the No.
Yeah, I know.
Kimberly, you see me on my business. I think I know who you are now, Kimberly, but I know you as your screen name on Instagram. She said, no, Grace, you know me. Okay, I know you, I know. And I tell you one thing, my children's daddy had 3 different pages for social media. Okay, is that do you see that as problematic? A man having 3 separate pages for social media? Kimberly, do you have a problem with it? He had a page that I can see and other pages on the same network, social media, that I didn't know about. See, now we're doing some deceitful shit. That's when it becomes a problem to a woman. And you're doing things behind our backs. When you're not being real, when you're not being open, when you're not having the conversation. So with that, GQ said, my password is off limits. I hear you guys. I mean, I think we covered everything. It's a good conversation. And it needs to be had, and especially in relationships, to minimize. Relationships are already hard enough. Now we got another layer that we have to work through, and we just, again, we have to have those conversations. It's must. But guys, we are hitting to 2 hours and 47 minutes. The last show was 2:46. So we're kind of, we did good. We did good. So I'm going to hand it over to Gary. Final thoughts. Let us know where we can find you. And I'm still not deciding for next Monday. I got something in the pipeline that's going to be kind of, I think I told you, True, but I haven't been able to talk to you, Gary, yet. It's going to be, I'm kicking up some dust in these YouTube streets. So.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. All right.
So y'all just have to tune in. Okay. So Gary, your final thoughts, and let us know where we can find you.
Well, look, when it comes to social media and relationships, I don't think social media will, if you let social media destroy your relationship, then that's what's going to happen. But your relationship is supposed to supersede social media. Look, you have to have the real, open, and honest conversation with your partner to find out the do's, the don'ts, to set boundaries and stuff like that. That's what's most important. You could find me Friday nights on The Real Discussion, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. On Boardwalk Global Media, on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, our Instagram page. And I just want to thank Grace again for having me here.
Absolutely. True. Let us know where your final thoughts and
No, thanks for having me. Social media is really, like, again, like I said, nothing but a tool. For those people who are allowing social media to dictate how their relationship is going to turn out, I would encourage you to learn how to navigate your own life. Because there's always going to be a new app. There's always going to be a new technology. There's always going to be a new social norm. But you got to be honest with yourself and your partner on how you guys are going to do relationship in real life, not digitally, and navigate your world. Don't let the world dictate to you. You dictate to the world. You can find me on YouTube, same first name, same last name. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. It's all the same across all major platforms. Thanks again for having me. You guys have a good one.
absolutely. That's some true shit you got going on, True Table. I'm sorry, but I'm just using your word today. That's how I market my name. I'm marketing that name. You got some true gems on the table tonight. My final thoughts is that, look, everything in life has three sides: the good, the bad, and the true. And how you decide to use and utilize social media in your personal life, business life, and relationship life, it's up to you. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you have understandings and boundaries and standards, it should be all good. But we do need to develop self-awareness and realize that social media it needs to be used as a tool and not become dependent on meeting. Because remember, we were talking about dating, on meeting the love of your life. Humans are meant to be social. Remember, 70% of our communication is face-to-face engagement because it's body language. You're not going to be able to see my body language if we're not interfaced. We crave social interaction, and we're not always meant to be behind a digital screen. So we just have to be intentional and conscious of what we're doing and who are we doing it to and how we're doing it. And that's how I feel on it. My name is Grace from Embrace the Grace. I want to thank everybody for coming. The conversation was great. Gary, thanks for talking me into running it back again. You were absolutely great. Because if I got 41 views when it was all jacked up, I know they're going to enjoy this one much better. And you can find me of course, on YouTube. I go live every Monday night from 8 to 10, and I'm up and around YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and Facebook. You can find me with Embrace Grace. Thank you again. I got something cooking real good for next Monday, and I would definitely let you in on that. Thank you so much, guys. Peace.
Peace. All right.